Okay, good evening. We are now reconvening our meeting for Monday, February 6th, 2023. And we'll go ahead and start with the Pledge of Allegiance. If all would please arise, and Noreen Scott will lead us.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we'd like to welcome everyone to our meeting tonight. We've already previously done a roll call, so we don't need to do that again in this part of the meeting. And so we will just continue into our meeting for tonight. We'll start with, we do not have any public comment. Is that correct, Kim? Nothing came through the forum, so we have no public comment tonight. So we will move through that. And we will go down to approve the consent agenda.
Madam President, Board Member Jessica Tyler, I'll approve the consent agenda.
Madam President, Noreen Scott, I will second.
Okay, we have a motion by Jessica Tyler and a second by Noreen Scott. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries 4-0. So now moving into our business portion, we have a report. The Rancho Public Schools Board of Education held a closed executive session at 3:30 p.m. on Monday, February 6, 2023, as permitted under Section 10-15-1H8 of the New Mexico Open Meetings Act. The matters discussed in the closed meeting were limited only to those specified in the notice of a separate closed meeting. And then our next item, B, will to be consider the endorsement of the joint use agreement between Rio Rancho Public Schools and CNM for the use and operations of the Career Technical Education Center. So we'd like to welcome Michael Baker, our Chief Operations Officer, along with Carl Leppelman, our Chief Academic Officer, to present.
Good evening, Madam President, Dr. Cleveland, members of the school board. So previously, we reviewed a joint use agreement between Rio Rancho Public Schools and CNM. And as you are aware, for many, many months, we have been meeting many times a month and in order to solidify a partnership that would provide CTE or Career Technical Education classes at our CTE complex off of Zenith Court. The staff has come to an agreement. There were many, many items that we reviewed. Essentially, what we've agreed to is that Rio Rancho Public Schools will renovate its trade skill or skilled trades facility, and CNM will construct a automotive/transportation center at their expense. And so we will have students, Rio Rancho Public Schools students in the skilled trades facility, as well as automotive. And there will also be CNM students in the skilled trades facility and the automotive as well. And so we've agreed on a 50-50 sharing of that as far as students being able to attend classes. In addition to that, we will be sharing the expenses to operate these facilities. And once a year, we will take a look at the joint use agreement, make adjustments as necessary in order to arrive at a cost proportional to the amount of students that are attending Rio Rancho versus CNM. Previously, we went into the detail of the joint use agreement. So at this time, I think, Ms. Carly, you want to say a few words before we answer questions?
Yeah, I'll make it quick. Anytime you try to do something innovative that's new and out of the box, you're going to have challenges. But I have to commend the entire group that worked, both at the staff from Rio Rancho Public Schools and CNM. This is an opportunity you've been looking forward to as a district for almost a decade. It feels like a decade, doesn't it? We've been talking about career technical. So I think we're now seeing the fruits of our labors and the vision that we have all students able to have access to skilled trades. And some of those skilled trades would be electrical, including photovoltaics, welding, plumbing, gas fitting, HVAC and computer information systems, networking specifically. And we are looking forward to that partnership as we presented to you during the work session.
Okay, do we have questions or comments from the board? Jessica, you have any?
I was just going to make a motion if you were ready for that. Yeah, Madam President, based on the lengthy discussion during the workshop earlier today, I'd like to make a motion to endorse the joint use agreement between Rio Rancho Public Schools and CNM for the use and operation of the Career Technical Education Center.
This is Secretary Noreen Scott, and I second it. And I want to compliment staff on their efforts. This is a really nice agreement that I think serves our students well. So thank you.
Thank you. We're going to go ahead and go for the vote. And if there's any other comments, I'm sure I'll give Dr. Cleveland a moment to comment right after we go into the vote, if that's, or would you like to comment now?
Doesn't matter there.
Okay, we'll go ahead and go into a roll call vote and then any other additional comments before we move into our next portion. So Kim, can you do that for us?
Vice President Morgan is absent. Secretary Scott.
Yes.
Board Member Tripp.
Yes.
Board Member Tyler.
Yes.
President Galbraith.
Yes.
The motion carries 4-0.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Gary, did you have any comments or anything before? Okay, and then me give Dr. Cleveland a moment to, if there's
Well,
anything.
I just also want to thank everybody that worked on it. President Hartzler and I had several meetings, and we had meetings with and without staff on this. But the staff was the one that carried the load on it, just numerous meetings, trying to work it out. And it didn't come ever from a lack of desire on either side to make it work, just that we come from such different. Oh, no, thank you. We come from such different systems. If they start charging me $1, I'm going to be destitute. We come from very different systems. And so our accountability, our finances, our governance, everything is different. And so it took a while to be able to put that together. But there's absolutely no doubt what we have here is something that will benefit our students, but not only our students, the adults in this community who may also want to further their knowledge and skills in the skilled trades area. It will benefit all of our local businesses, certainly our construction companies. Certainly, we have such a shortage of skilled workers, and it will benefit the overall economy in the state of New Mexico, and particularly the metro area of Albuquerque, Rio Rancho. So I just want to thank everyone. This was no easy task. This was no 5-minute job. And yet people just persevered and got it done. And so I'm really excited about where we are right now, and very excited to see it move forward. I'll go ahead and just say it now, and then we'll have to say at the end. The coming attractions will be next week. The CNM board, we will have a combined meeting between the CNM board and the Rio Rancho Public School Board. An opportunity again to talk about this agreement, this project, give both boards a chance to talk with one another, meet each other, have some conversation, and then hopefully there will be a signing by both entities approved at that particular meeting, and then everything moves forward. So next week will be a very important celebration for all of the hard work that's gone into to this effort. So we will be welcoming the CNM board. The last time the two boards met together, we went to CNM, and we went to the new West Side campus, and we had a wonderful meeting there. And so we're hoping now to return the favor to them. So that's what will be coming a week from tonight.
Okay. Well, thank you. And I just want to add my gratitude to that. I think this has been years coming, years in the making. And so thank you, everyone. This is a good, wonderful thing that we have this. Yeah. Thank you so much.
We are still working on financing, though.
Yeah. Yes, we are. All right. Thank you. Appreciate it. So we'll move to our next item, and that's item C. It's our second reading of changes to policy 1022, reporting student abuse of alcohol or drugs. And Sherry Carver, our Executive Director of Student Services, is presenting.
Good evening, President Galbraith, members of the board, and Dr. Cleveland. You'll recall last board meeting, I brought this policy to you for the first reading. This is the policy of reporting student abuse of alcohol or drugs. And this policy was enacted to provide a procedure for all of our employees to report known or suspected use of student using drugs or alcohol. We are recommending that we change B to read, reports shall be made to the principal or assistant principal of the school in which the student is enrolled. And then on C, after some discussion and some recommendations, last board meeting, we are recommending that we change C to reports shall be made within 3 school days after the employee learns or suspects that use or abuse of drugs or alcohol by a student. So we put more specifics instead of as soon as practical or in a timely manner on C. The rest of the policy remains the same.
Okay. Any questions from the board on this policy?
Madam President, Board Member Tyler, I make a motion to approve changes to policy 1022, reporting student abuse of alcohol or drugs.
Noreen Scott, second.
Okay. We have a motion by Jessica Tyler, second by Noreen Scott. Kim, you want to take a roll call vote for us?
Vice President Morgan is absent. Secretary Scott,
Yes.
Board Member Tripp,
Yes.
Board Member Tyler,
Yes.
President Galbraith.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0.
Thank you. Dr. Cleveland, did you have anything you wanted to add on
Oh,
this?
no,
one? You're
no.
good? Okay. Okay. Thank you, Sherry. Appreciate it. All right, our next ones, and I'll go ahead and announce all of them as Michael Baker comes up. We have our second reading of changes to policy 600, fiscal management goals, priority objectives. Second reading of changes to policy 601, annual budget, and the second reading of changes to policy 602, budget development, all presented by Michael Baker, our Chief Operations Officer.
Madam President, Dr. Cleveland, members of the school board, policy 600, 601, and 602, for the most part, there's simple language changes. However, in policy 602, there is one substantial change, and that is in subsection C, last paragraph, where the recommendation is last sentence, at a minimum, the budget shall ensure that the school district holds unrestricted cash reserves of at least 1%, not 2%, of the total operating budget. And really the reason for this is that the legislature, they really don't want us to have a reserve. They really want us to spend all our money. So that's where we stand today, and I stand for questions.
Okay. Any questions? Any questions? Okay.
This is Noreen Scott. I move approval of the second reading to changes of policy 600, policy 601, and policy 602.
Board Member Gary Tripp, I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion by Noreen Scott and a second by Gary Tripp. And then Kim, if you want to go ahead and take a roll call vote for us.
Vice President Morgan is absent. Secretary Scott,
Yes.
Board Member Tripp,
Yes.
Board Member Tyler,
Yes.
President Galbraith.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you.
If
Okay.
they'll send us more money, we'll spend that too.
Yes, we will. So we'll go into advanced planning, and Dr. Cleveland, if there's anything else that you want to add on what's happening next week as we get to it, I'll give you an opportunity to do
No,
that.
the one thing we will do though is we will reach out to Jeffrey Morgan and be sure that if he has any questions or comments on what we went over this evening, to have a chance to do that. Because I would like him not to go into that meeting cold. So we will reach out.
Okay, that would be
Okay.
great. Okay, so on the 8th, we have a bus rider count day. So that means for our schools that Wednesday, there's no early release, and they will have that day on Friday instead. And then February 13th will be our joint meeting with CNM and Rio Rancho Public Schools. That will be at 5:30. Please look at your calendar invites for any additional information on those things, and also in the superintendent report. I believe we have some information in there. There was this last week, you talked a little bit about that. I'm trying to remember. Okay. So then on the 20th, there will be no classes. It's President's Day. The 27th will be a finance committee meeting at 4:00, and then a regular board meeting at 5:30. And then please just refer to your agenda for any other dates that are coming up. Any questions on advanced planning or any clarifications? Yes.
Yeah, if I might, just to clarify a little bit on what's going to happen next week, there'll be a tour of the CNM or the CTE facility, CTE complex at 4 p.m. Then everybody comes back over here for dinner, and we would anticipate that the actual joint session would begin sometime between 5:30, 5:45.
Okay.
So that just clarifies it a little bit. Unless I said something wrong there, did I?
No, I think that that's correct. And so everyone is welcome to go to that tour if you would like to be. I think that it would be a great thing for as many board members that are able to go to that tour at the building. So, okay.
Thank you.
So with that, we are adjourned for today. Thank you all so much.
Actually,
No, we're not. Sorry. We are not adjourned. Hold on. I got really excited. I do that every time because it's on my. We're not adjourned. Okay. So we're going to consider a motion to convene an executive session for the purpose of discussing pending or threatened litigation with the superintendent and legal counsel as permitted under section 10-15(1)(h)(7) of the New Mexico Open Meetings Act.
Madam President, so moved.
Okay. Do we have a second?
Gary Tripp. We
Okay.
need it.
And Kim, can you take a roll call vote for us?
Okay, so let me just clarify who made that motion because I was in the middle of typing
Jessica
something
Tyler
else.
made our motion and a second by Gary
Hi,
Tripp.
Gary. Okay, thank you. Vice President Morgan is absent. Secretary Scott. Board Member Tripp.
Yes.
Board Member Tyler.
Yes.
President Galbraith.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0.
Thank you. Everyone's faces over here got very alerted when I. You guys are done. We'll be here longer. I think that was me. No.
Man, we're not. Any of you want to do the